What is up, everybody? It's Sam, and we are back with another episode of Pessimistic at Best, the podcast. And I have Mackenzie here with me today.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Mackenzie, first-time podcast guest, long-time friend.
First time podcast guest, long-time listener, long-time friend.
I'm so excited to have you on the pod.
I'm super excited. This is my debut podcast episode ever.
That's exciting.
I feel like I'm like on the other side of the looking glass.
So true. I kind of hate telling people that I have a podcast now because it's so overrated, but I do love my podcast and I feel passionate about it. And I also know that I'm not one of the Joe Rogans of the world.
I honestly think I wouldn't be your friend.
Yeah.
I think that's like definitely, you know, it's just important not to get really divisive really early on. But yeah, no, I think that I remember someone told me once, they were like, well, I just think we should give Joe Rogan the benefit of doubt. And I was like, I think we should give him the absolute opposite of that. What is not that?
Yeah.
What is like truly the most doubt in the world? Because that's what we need to give Joe Rogan. Like, yeah. And it was just like, well, like he actually had some really interesting points before he like became an anti-vaxxer. And I was like, list one.
Literally.
Like, give me one interesting point, like the Joe Rogan made.
I know, I actually have a couple friends, I would say, they're mostly James's friends, but they are really into watching like UFC fighting, and Joe Rogan's very involved in that scene.
Because wasn't he also
I think he was, that's why he's
like large.
ginormous. Yeah. So they are Joe Rogan sympathizers, which sucks. Yeah.
That's like up there with my levels of like that's like up there, and not in like even like red flags, but like something that like you'll say it to me and I'll be like,
I know.
Oh,
I know.
Like, oh honey. Like, oh,
and like at this point, he has the big loser stamp on the forehead, like why are we still supporting? But whatever.
I feel that way about like so many things though.
Yeah.
Like so many people.
True. Also very true. But I'm excited to have you on the pod.
I'm so happy to be here.
Mackenzie and I met. You guys have probably listened to the episode with Evan. If you haven't, please go do it. But we all met at Evan's house.
Subscribe.
Literally. Look at her. She's already
like,
with the CTAs.
link in the description. Subscribe.
Fuck yes. Returning guest right here. But yes, we all met that fateful day at Evan's.
Do you tell that story?
We did tell that story.
Amazing. I'm like, that is my most interesting story.
That story rocks. It's also just like...
Not to bury the lead, but that is my most interesting story.
Straight up same. And it's the culmination of our friend group. I also just feel like, I don't know what it is about... We all just kind of moved here around the same time, and it just worked out.
It was, not to be religious, but it was divine intervention.
Straight up.
Yeah, I felt like... It was the most, like, wine substance fuel divine intervention. But I feel like the Last Supper was probably also, like, pretty boozy.
You know, that's true.
Like, they were just eating bread and drinking wine, right?
That is literally
and,
so
like,
true.
that's, like, that's not enough. Like, you're definitely hammered.
Yeah.
So, I think we're like Jesus and his disciples.
Yeah, literally, the second coming of Jesus.
The second coming. We're like the second iteration.
That's
actually slightly
incredible.
more annoying.
Yeah, except this
only slightly.
This round, the friend group has a podcast.
Yeah. So wait till you read our book. It's gonna be wild.
Straight up.
It's gonna be like the Bible, but different.
And we also have merch.
Yeah, oh my god. Imagine if Jesus had merch.
Honestly, that'd be kind of sick.
Oh my god. That'd be... We should do a capsule
collection. Way easier way to disseminate the,
Yeah, no one wants a book.
Word, yeah.
Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if Jesus gave out, like, sweatshirts or pop sockets.
Swag.
Yeah, no, I feel like if he gave out, like, merchandise.
Yes, dude.
Like, I feel like, honestly, like, young Catholic Christian people, like, should be lending an ear. Because,
100%.
I mean, I think, like, a lot of people...
Plus, turn a profit for the cause.
Yeah, no, I think this...
Incredible.
You know, if you get on Alibaba, you order some... Yes. I'm not in support of Alibaba, but we are not a direct affiliate with Alibaba.
Alibaba is not a podcast sponsor.
No. Oh my god.
What you may
okay, who's your dream podcast sponsor?
That is a really great question.
We're turning the tables.
Well, something that I have a little sneaky roundabout way of doing is I think when I actually start doing my vintage stuff, my vintage company can sponsor my podcast.
Oh my god, amazing.
Yeah.
Because it's, like, all part of, like, the Sam, like, umbrella.
Yeah, and, like, I'm calling my Depop already has this name, and I did make an Instagram for it, though I haven't posted it yet.
Smash the follow.
Literally. Mackenzie's my first follower, literally.
Smash that follow button.
And I'm calling it Losers Weepers Vintage, because I feel like that fits in with the Pessimistic at Best vibe, so.
The family, the cinematic universe.
Bunch of downers over here.
The pessimistic cinematic universe. Love that for you.
So that's kind of the plan. But dream podcast sponsor? That's a great question. I feel like I'd want to get like something crazy, like
Ally and AJ.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Oh
just like two individual people, just
literally.
Like, your podcast.
Ally and AJ,
like them separately, like in their own like enterprises, like sponsoring.
They can promote whatever the fuck they want.
They're just like coming on. They're just like, hey, like, follow me on Instagram.
Also, dream guest at that point.
Honestly, yeah, you could really do some damage there.
That'd be sick.
That would be pretty.
Those
wild.
are my girls. It's so funny too because I like had and like I've listened to Ally and AJ like back in the day, whatever. Like I love potential breakup songs, sure,
great.
But I wasn't like
that song whips.
It whips. It's just so good.
Yeah.
There's no denying it. And if you are going through a breakup, like incredible fuel.
But also like such a positive song.
Yeah.
Like not like a song that you like really cry to, like a song that you like bop around town
Totally.
Which I think is like a really special kind of breakup song.
Because it's more like the revenge era, like you're back up, you're feeling good.
Yeah.
But I like, they put out new music and I was like, I don't know how I stumbled upon it. I think some of it just wound up in like my daily mix. I was like, this is literally crack. Like I need this plugged into my ears at all times.
Yeah.
And it was their album name is literally so long it's kind of obnoxious, but it was like a twist of the beat gets you up off your feet and out and into the sun.
Wow. Yeah. What is the acronym for that?
Exactly.
Wow.
And I think they just call it a touch of the beat most of the time, but it's like an incredible fucking album. I love it literally so much. And it, like, literally, I was like, I'm obsessed with them, have to see them. So we saw them back in Madison.
That's such a power. I'm still, like, perseverating on the...
I know.
That's, like, such a bit, like, I thought, like, The Man Who Shall Not Be Named, like, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, like, I thought that was, like, a mouthful.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, Ally and AJ...
They gave it several sentences.
They were like, hold my beer.
At least 3 sentences will do.
They were like one large run-on sentence, please, to go.
So, and ever since then, I've been literally so obsessed with them. They're incredible. I just think they make such good music, and those girls have just had like a complete rebirth. All of their sound has certainly changed. I feel like they're like away from their Disney era. I feel like they've aged like fine wine. 100%.
I feel like Hilary Duff has also done that.
Yeah.
I feel like there are several like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of Disney stars get a bad rap though. Like I feel like Lindsay Lohan was like one of the maligned women of the 90s.
I know.
And 2000s.
She's coming back and I'm so happy about it. I have not watched her Christmas movie yet because it actually does kind of look bad, but I think I'll do it just to support.
Yeah, no, just to like show some support. Yeah, no, I think that like so many like one of my other favorite podcasts aside from this one is You're Wrong About, and they do.
I love that podcast.
Yeah, they're incredible. Shout out Sarah Marshall.
Yeah,
I love that bitch. But yeah, I listened to the whole like Princess Diana series and the whole like they did Jessica Simpson like book club, and like what I really gleaned from it is that like so many of the women that I grew up around were like completely maligned.
I know.
Just like absolutely given the worst.
Well, and in that era too of just like the paparazzi being such a thing
and
like completely attacking you and all the tabloids, like the way that the news wrote about you. Plus, we didn't really have social media the way we do now, so you couldn't tell your own story. It was literally just how you were posted in the media.
Control of the narrative. Oh my god! And like you look back at like those photos of like Britney with her head shaved, like fighting the paparazzi, and like those are always framed as like ha 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 funny. But I'm like, this is literally a portrait of a woman like in crisis,
having a full mental breakdown,
and no one's like,
nothing about this
get
is
her
funny.
Some help,
like. And the amount of just like body shaming that was going on, everything. I mean, it was just terrible.
Yeah, I feel like we're kind of in like a second wave of that situation with TikTok, but it's definitely like, I feel like at least now people have the agency to like say something about it.
Yeah.
And be like, actually, fuck that. Whereas,
right,
like,
and people have more like a way to call it out that actually gains some traction because we have social as well. I know I actually have been seeing so much stuff about the like Ozempic. Have you been seeing that?
Oh my god, yeah. Also, like, let diabetics have their goddamn meds.
Please.
Like, literally, like, that's just the whole statement.
I know.
Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, don't take meds from people who need them.
I know.
so you can lose a drastic amount of weight for the Oscars.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me?
I know.
Like, that's, I know. That for me
or to fit in a historic dress that's not yours. Like, hello.
That part, though. Yeah, no. That was... I didn't know that she did that for... See, and that's the thing.
She lost 16 pounds in 3 weeks to get into that dress.
Yeah,
3 weeks or 3 months.
Also just, like...
I can't remember.
I don't know. I mean, like, either way,
Yeah.
that's, like, an egregious amount of weight to lose in a short period of time.
Yes.
And it's also just, like, no one tells you that, like, you gain all that weight right back.
Yeah.
Because it's, like, as soon as you start eating like a normal human being, it's, like, your body's, like, oh, sick. Like, we were, like, in deprivation mode before.
Well, and it just sucks because I feel like we're so back in the celebrity skinny era. Like, I really thought we were done with that.
Yeah, I've, like, just started unfollowing... I don't really follow a lot of celebrities, I guess. But, like...
I can't relate. I follow so many. It sucks.
I guess, like, I'll, like, check in on celebrities every once in a while. Like, someone will
I smash that follow button. I don't even know why.
As you should.
I literally don't care. I mean, I do care. So I can't really say that.
I mean, as is your God-given right, though. Like, honestly, like, I don't think that, like, anything celebrity-related should be a guilty pleasure. Because I think it's indicative of, like, a larger thing that we have going on. Yeah. It's like, okay, if your guilty pleasure isn't Kim Kardashian and, like, her entire clan, your guilty pleasure is likely, like, you know, something equally as, like,
totally,
you know, weird or, like, niche
or
something like that. Or worse. Or you love Joe Rogan. Which is truly worse.
Honestly. Cheers to that.
And that would be honestly get help.
Yeah.
Find God, touch grass. But yeah, no, it's really, I just wish celebrities would not do that.
No, same.
I wish they'd knock it off.
And I am glad that some of them are coming back. I'm like, you know, Lindsay Lohan's having her moment. I hope that
Good for her.
I hope that carries on. I saw she was at New York Fashion Week, so that's cool.
Anne Hathaway.
She's back out in public.
Anne
Hathaway looks incredible.
She looks incredible, and I'm glad that the entire universe doesn't hate her anymore.
Same.
Because I kind of never stopped loving her.
Me neither, and she never deserved that. I still don't even understand why it happened, to be honest.
Okay, so again, like You're Wrong About does a great episode on it, so it's a bonus episode, so you have to be a Patreon.
Okay, let's go.
And you should also be a Patreon for this podcast.
Straight up. You're my marketing
I'm just like, okay, call to action.
Literally.
But yeah, no, they did a really good episode on Anne Hathaway and basically like all the hate she got. And basically she was just, people were like, oh, she's like too earnest. And she like wants it too bad. Like when she won the Oscar.
And that's on women not being able to do anything correct.
Honestly. And so when she won the Oscar, she like looked down at it and she was like, it came true. In like a really sweet but also like sort of cringe moment.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, like women aren't allowed to be cringe. Like on the public stage. Like we have to not be cringe, but we also can't be like too aloof.
Yeah.
So you have to like really hit that like
beautiful middle point.
Beautiful middle point where you're like available enough.
Yeah.
But also a little aloof. Like you can't give it all away. Like you can't want anything too much. Like heaven forbid you want to win an Oscar.
Also like hating someone for being too earnest is probably the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life.
Bad luck.
Like, I can't really find a reason to hate that other than, what, are you jealous? Like, what?
Well, it's like, I think, like, a lot of kids in school, like, really hated, like, tryhards.
Okay, yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it's like, I get that, like, it's a little bit annoying, and I guess that, like, I see Anne Hathaway being, like, a bit of a tryhard. But I also am like,
yeah, but
you tried hard and you did it.
Right, exactly. She did the damn thing.
Like, you tried hard and you, like, shaved your head live on Les Mis' set.
100%.
Like, yeah,
that's dedication to
you're
the craft.
Committing to the bit, and honestly, it's impressive.
Straight up.
And there are so many other actors and actresses, like, and then they compared, they were like, Christian Bale, like, does all of this crazy method acting shit, and, like, Daniel Day-Lewis does it, but then when, like, when Anne Hathaway does it, it's like,
yeah,
actually,
she wants it too much.
Yeah, she wants it too bad.
Like, you try hard, bitch.
Yeah. So I was just, I was really incensed. I listen to a lot of these podcasts, like, while I work, and so I'm, like, just actively seething. Like,
you're like literally doing your graphic design and you're like,
I'm like pushing pixels and like making things look nice. I'm like, God, fuck those people.
Mm-hmm. All of a sudden your designs get a little more angry.
Yeah. Justice for Anne Hathaway. Yeah. Hashtag Team Anne. Just a little bit much.
Support.
She deserved more than she got, honestly.
I mean, frankly, have you seen Devil Wears Prada? Cinematic history right there.
So good. She wore a wig for that.
Really?
She wore a wig. This is turning into an Anne Hathaway.
Literally. You know so much.
It's a very educational podcast. She wore a wig for the first part of The Princess Diaries. And she also wore a wig for the first part of The Devil Wears Prada. She does not naturally have curly hair. Her hair is naturally, like, pretty straight. Which I thought was kind of, like, when I saw The Princess Diaries as a youth, I was like, wow. I was like, I can tame... I don't even have curly hair. But I was like, if my hair...
That makeover scene is top 10 of all time.
It's wild. Yeah. It's wild. It's wild. They, like, really, like, took her glasses off, and they were like, you're hot now. Literally. And it's like, make that make sense, because I tried it in the mirror. Yeah. I was like, it's like,
there is something sort of distorting about that.
Yeah, no. I feel like the amount of makeover scenes I've seen, like, I was like,
it's always the most incredible makeover montage, and you're like, something about my get ready routine in the morning isn't quite doing the same.
Get ready with me. I'm like in 7th grade, like trying to cover my hormonal acne.
Literally,
I'm like, this isn't giving Lizzie McGuire, but I don't.
As much as we try.
Yeah, and I was like, this definitely won't impact me later in life.
Yep.
10 years down the road, you're like, oh,
that's where that came from.
You're like, boom, you're in therapy, and you're like, just kidding. You're like, you remember Lizzie McGuire?
Oh my god, literally crying over the makeover scene in Princess Diaries.
Yeah, you're like,
happens to all of us, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
it happens to the absolute best of us.
And she's just like, all of her outfits recently have been incredible. I also love all the callbacks, honestly, to Andy and Devil Wears Prada, and everyone's like, Andy would be proud.
Oh,
she fucking would.
Oh my god, yeah.
I also love Meryl Streep. Huge Meryl Streep girl.
Huge Meryl Streep girl. Huge Helen Mirren girl for me too. I think about I don't know if you know the photo shoot that she did in that bathtub, like for Vogue or something.
I don't think I do.
She did, like, I just remember it being like a really influential moment in which I was like, people were wrong. That, like, when you age, you're not hot.
No.
Because, like...
There's something so gorgeous and
we'll link in the show notes. the photo of Helen Mirren in the bathtub.
We'll post it.
Her hair... Yeah, exactly. Perfect launching point. Her hair is, like, slicked back, and she's, like, nude in a tub, and she's, like, this picture of, like... just, like, womanhood and, like...
that's, like, divine femininity. That's awesome.
And I was just, like... And she was just, like, yeah, I'm, like, in my 70s... fuck off.
Incredible.
And she's so hot, and I'm just like, yeah, like, that's absolutely...
That's all I want in life.
Yeah, I'm like, actually, like, being hot and old is totally feasible, and there are women out there doing the damn thing, so...
I can't wait for the day.
Yeah, every time I see a gray hair, I'm like, sick.
Same.
I'm like, nice.
Mm-hmm. You know, the first time that my hairstylist saw one, she was like, holy shit, you're getting old, and I was like, I'm ready.
You were like, yo. I found one when I was, like, 23.
Yeah, same.
And I was just kind of like...
I've been getting them for a while.
I was kind of like, it was at the beginning of 2022, and I was kind of just like, that was
stress-induced.
That was a calling card.
Yeah.
I was like, they were like, but you don't know what you're in for.
Literally.
They were like, buckle up.
Well, and for me, I had a phase, of course, where I, like, desperately wanted gray hair, so I tried really hard to make my hair gray.
You stressed yourself out all the time, constantly.
Yeah, right.
You wrecked your own life.
Which is, like, impossible to... It's an impossible color to have if you don't actually naturally have it.
It's the maintenance is like, it's harder than
blonde. It's through the roof. Yeah.
If you're naturally brunette, you were swimming upstream.
Yeah. It was like either yellow, which was always like my worst. I hated that when it turned yellow, or it would be like blue.
Yeah, and then you're like, we've gone a little too far.
Yeah.
Sweet Icarus flew too close to the sun.
Quite literally.
That was a little too much.
So that's a hard one, but
yeah. I dyed my hair like 14 different colors in high school, and then
at
one point I was like,
I can't picture that on you, to be honest.
Honestly, it was just like one half of my hair in which like I bought a bunch of Manic Panic on sale, and I like
as one does,
I like bleached all of it. I like went to Walgreens, was like really on my bullshit, and I like bleached half of like the bottom half of my hair, and then like put a little.
You did it all yourself.
Oh, I did it in the bathroom. My brother and I shared a bathroom in high school, which is like a contentious situation.
Of course.
Just like my brother and I, who's like 2 years younger than me, and he was just kind of like, what the fuck? And I literally stained the entire bathroom blue. And like we were rented.
That's classic.
We were this was a rented house.
Like, I know.
I'm sure the landlord was like, what?
For sure. Oh, it stayed that way.
Oh, it stayed that way. Yeah, no. There was no, it was an older house, and there was simply no fixing it.
Yeah.
So
that'll happen.
So I'm sure my parents were like, we're so sorry, but that security deposit is coming out of your life.
Literally.
And like, honestly, that's fair. Totally fair.
I had like, my little like blonde chunks for me.
Yeah, those were so cute.
And I haven't got my hair colored since I moved here because I don't know where to go and I don't have any money.
It's really expensive. I got my hair cut and I was like,
well, and my hairstylist in Madison, literally love her to death. She It was very affordable, honestly. Frankly, she should have been charging more. And I always tipped her really well because I love Megan so much, and she's
you were like, here, take some more
incredible.
Money.
She's incredible at her craft, and I know I'm not going to get the same value here, which is fair. Like I think hairstylists should be charging their worth, but
I did get a really good haircut, and it was really expensive.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Well, come back for a bank trim. It's only $30." And I was like,
$30 to do this?
I was like, babe. I was like, look. I was like, I might fuck up my bangs all the time, like constantly, like every day. I also do this thing where like I'll cut my bangs right before like I have to leave.
I kind of do that a lot too.
I am my own worst enemy.
It's a manic decision. It's a manic choice, but I make it every time.
I make my own mess in that regard. But I was like, there's no way I'm paying $30 to have someone cut my bangs.
I actually have a tool you might like. It's like a...
We've talked about this, right?
Oh, I have told it.
You have... It's like this special tool that like won't make them look like you...
Yeah. It like doesn't do the scissors thing. It's not straight across. I'll actually show it to you after this.
Okay.
I swear by it, and I use it to cut my whole head.
Oh my god. Okay, this might change my life. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I feel like I've kind of just gone like the straight across like bangs situation, which I feel like kind of works, but I'm like... I was like trying to branch out when I went to this fancy hairdresser. Yeah. And then I was like, I literally can't afford to branch out.
I know, exactly. Turns out branching out's expensive.
Turns out branching out is like not like we can throw it on the debit card, but like damn.
I know.
Jeez.
100%.
That's just like a little like you have to I don't know, to try out all these different looks, like you gotta have the coin.
Truly. And what happens if you don't like one of them?
You just gotta wait until you have money again. Yeah, no, you just simply have to wait it out. You're like, guess we'll figure that out when the next paycheck comes.
Because like in Madison, I could afford to switch it up as much as I wanted. And I don't have that luxury here.
Not in the Windy City, not in Chicago.
I was actually just telling James, I haven't made a single appointment since moving here.
I just need to.
Of any kind. I need to do that. I actually need to do that desperately.
So. You know, I found one. They take my insurance. They're actually right down the road from here. They're at Humboldt Park. I'll give you the deets.
Yeah,
I used the ZocDoc. Actually, ZocDoc, if you want to sponsor it.
Yeah, that'd be a great sponsor.
That'd be a great sponsor. They actually were really helpful.
Yeah,
I'm not being paid to say this. They were really helpful.
I was like looking on there a little bit. I just switched my insurance like the first half of this year. I like kept it in Madison.
Oh yeah, I still go to the Burbs for all my like other appointments.
Yeah,
because I'm like, I simply can't be bothered.
I know. And I was like, I guess if I should get an emergency, like, I should probably switch. But, so I finally did, which my insurance is much more expensive now, which sucks. But,
I just figured out, that you have to hit, like, a what's that called?
Like deductible or something?
Yeah. Googled deductible the other day. Fucked up. Honestly, because I was always like, oh, you have to, like, hit your deductible and, like, blah, blah, blah. It's a lot. It's a lot. So, like, the less you pay monthly for insurance, the more your deductible is. And, of course, like...
I guess I, like, don't pay attention to that.
I guess, like, when I was looking at, like, at my job, they were like, oh, here are your plans. Like, you can pay, like, this amount of money or you can pay this amount of money. And I was like, the lower amount of money, please. Like, not taking my hard-earned American dollars.
And as a girl who doesn't love going to the doctor as is, like, I don't spend the money. Like, I don't make use of...
Yeah. So I was just like, oh, yeah. And then, like, I went to the doctor the other day and I picked up a prescription. They were like, yeah, it'll be $45. And I was like, excuse me, I have insurance. And they were like, we know.
Oh, God.
And I was like...
That's my worst nightmare.
I stood there at Walgreens, like, on Fullerton, just, like, affronted. Like, fully, like, upset. And I was like... They were like, well, do you want the meds? And I was like, yes, I want the meds. Like, are you kidding me?
I know.
Like, what choice do I have?
Ever since being on my own insurance... And I got on my own insurance a little before turning 26. I think I got it when I got this job. So it's been about 2 years.
Wow, you were like an early bloomer. I like cut it right by my birthday.
I didn't want to be on my own. And I honestly I don't know why I did it. I was on my dad's obviously for a while. And he said that if his insurance company found out that I had a means of obtaining my own insurance, they would fine him every month. Which I was like, that's so fucked up.
That is honestly like...
But he might have been fibbing to me just to get me off his insurance, but I think
I feel like the American medical system is more likely to do that shit than your dad is to lie to you.
100%. And like, I'm still on his fucking phone bills, so he's not really like one to cut me off.
Yeah.
So, but anyway.
You're like, actually, could you up the
literally
tax, please? Would be great. Please. You're a little late on this one.
Straight up. Could I have unlimited data?
I'm trying to scroll on the aisle.
Literally. But But and ever since I've had my own insurance, I feel like anytime that I either leave an appointment or pick up medications, I am like doing this. I am crossing my fingers. I'm like, so are we good? Like I'm doing finger guns. Like it's like literally stupid.
I literally was at the doctor the other day and I was like, so do I leave now?
Yeah.
Like,
so are we all good here?
like, do I sign something?
Yeah.
Do you need
open tab or like what's the vibe?
Oh my god, yeah, no.
It's bad.
I got like surprised the blood test the other day and I like immediately passed out.
I love to pull that one. Yeah.
They're like, oh, did you get your blood done? And I was like, literally nobody told me.
Also, why would I ever set that up myself?
I was like, well, I asked for like, she was like, oh, well, you're here for your physical, you like get your blood work done. And I was like, okay.
See, I'm worried they're gonna say that to me. I haven't done blood work in probably.
Oh my god, so I was out at the burbs at my parents' place and I was like, okay, like, you know, I'll go get my blood work done. And I was like, I don't drive, I'm a passenger princess.
Love that.
Obviously.
Honestly, since moving here, same.
Yeah, I don't drive. So my mom drove me to my doctor's appointment very kindly. And I was like, okay, I'll be back in like 20 minutes. And she doesn't hear from me for like 25 minutes. And she was like, are you okay? And I'm getting my blood work done. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting my blood work done. I'll be out in like 5 minutes. This nurse, bless her heart, love all nurses, like America's like caregivers, like frontline workers. This bitch could not find a vein for the life of her.
Oh no!
And like that's a me issue. First of all, like that's on me, and I'm not super hydrated, and I have like very small veins. I guess I don't know. But she tried both arms 3 times in 3 separate places, both of my hands. And I was like, are you gonna try like between my toes? Like what are you? And then she was literally so much that I was like, okay, like I'm like usually like pretty decent with needles, but now I'm gonna pass out.
Totally.
Like I'm 100%. And she was like, you're not gonna pass out. And I was like, I'm gonna edit it. I was like, do you want to fight about it? Or
Yeah.
And then she had another nurse come in. The nurse got on the first try. And I started like, I'm going back to work and I'm like, yeah. My boss is like texting me and he's like, hey, he's like, are you good? And I was like, yeah, sorry. I was just like treated like a human.
Surprise blood work.
Yeah, surprise blood work. And now I have like 18 million holes in my arms. But,
yeah, nothing worse.
Yeah. So I was like, oh great, insurance covers this.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I know. There was one time where I went to the doctor in a similar thing where it was like a surprise, like, oh, you haven't done this. We definitely need to run all these tests today.
It's imperative.
And so I had to go, the blood work section was like downstairs, so we had to go down several flights.
The bowels, the building.
Like literally the basement. And so I go down there and, you know, sign in, whatever. And then the main doctor was like, are you fine if like I guess they're not called interns. I don't know what you would call that. Our practicing person.
The B team.
Like, fucking pulls the blood out of you. And I was like,
no.
So, no. I'm like literally sweating profusely. But I was like, for sure. Would love that.
That's on being a people pleaser.
Yeah.
That's on being like, yeah.
That actually sounds awesome.
100%.
So I like sit down in the chair. I'm the same. I'd never drink enough water. I'm as pale as can be, but they couldn't find my veins, all these things. And so I'm like sitting there and I cannot look. Like there's no way that I'm looking at that. So I'm like doing anything possible to
like asking you all the weird questions. Like, so what do you do for work? You're like, shut up, Barbara, get my blood.
Like, clenching my teeth. And she like takes a couple of vials and then she comes back and she's like, you know what? All of these tests, like we can't use the same vials for any of these tests. So we're going to have to take, she said, 18 vials of my blood.
I don't think that's legal. I think that's technically like a pint. I was
like, I don't think I'll have enough left.
You're like, I don't know if that's how blood works.
And she's like, so we have to move you into a room where you can lie down. And I was like, what the fuck? So
she
like,
oh my god, this bitch is a vampire. She's gonna drain all my blood and then she's gonna kill me.
She puts me in this room that's like a child's room and it has like butterflies on the ceiling, which at this point I was like, at least I have something to distract myself. And I like lie down, she's like doing her thing, she's like, you want a juice box? I was like, fuck yeah, I want a juice box.
Give me the juice
Give
box.
me all the treatment. And I felt like I was in there for so long, and then she's like, now you're gonna have to lay here for about 15 to 20 minutes just because like we took a lot of blood, so you're probably gonna get a little dizzy. So, I mean, I was like, this is crazy. I'm never coming back here again.
You were like 2 stars. You were like, actually, 2 stars on Yelp. Will not be patronizing this establishment again. That also sounds like a setup for a horrific horror movie.
Totally.
Like a horrific one. Like one that I would be like, I don't know if I can see that on a full stomach.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, it was so much blood.
Yeah, that's too much.
I have a lot of friends who like used to do the plasma donations for like extra cash, like in college.
Like bone?
Well, it was like...
No, that's bone marrow.
The plasma you pull out of your blood, yeah.
Okay, so I feel like that's probably a little less intense. I know bone marrow, they, like, go into your bone.
Ooh.
And, like, suck some stuff out, and apparently it's, like, the most painful thing anyone can ever do.
Well, and this is, like, essentially, like, giving blood kind of, but they extract, I think the process, again, not a doctor by any means.
Not a doctor.
I think the process...
Not even well acquainted with science, if we're being honest.
Literally. Science and math are my 2 worst subjects. But I think the process is something along the lines of, like, they take all your blood out, then they take the plasma out of that, then they put the blood back in.
They spin it. Oh, isn't that what Lance Armstrong? I'm gonna sound like the dumbest little bitch in the world. Isn't that what Lance Armstrong did?
So yes, and then with his drugs, didn't he like fill the blood with drugs?
He did, like, I think athletes do that where they'll like spin their blood in like the white blood cells or whatever.
Yeah,
like whatever makes you recover faster.
Oh.
That was like the most awful cliff notes of like what doping is.
I'm thinking, wait, that is what doping is?
No, I don't think so at all.
I thought it had something to do with roids.
I think you can dope, but I think also spinning your blood cells is illegal.
I think it is, yeah.
I think it's like technically it's like,
yeah.
Honestly, your next guy should be like a cycling doping like expert. Be like, actually, to correct your last guest who was absolutely unhinged.
Idiots, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I say things like that are like basically adjacent to like something I heard on the internet, and I'm like, you should probably have just shut your mouth.
Same.
You should probably have just abstained from the conversation.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of the queen of the internet meme of people who say, I read this somewhere, and it's like, saw it on TikTok, and I'm repeating most of it wrong.
Yeah, no, like 100% of it is absolutely categorically false. Yeah, no, it's that's definitely an issue of mine as well. I'm like, oh, listen to one podcast about it? Yeah, 100% sure.
I'm an expert.
Was half listening
while
I was doing my job?
Yeah,
actually, I know that Anne Hathaway wore 2 wigs. Like, I know. And she's actually kind of a wig queen, so.
That's actually incredible, though, because her hair did really look good in both of those movies.
Yeah, no, it really,
So it makes sense.
Well, then she shaved it all off. Literally, in Les Mis, that she apparently said to her hair cutter, who was cutting her hair in the movie, she was like, if you hit my scalp, let's just keep going.
Oh my god.
Like, that's the most metal shit I've ever heard in my entire life.
Straight up.
Like, Anne Hathaway is kind of metal.
She's badass.
That's a good bumper sticker.
That is a really
Anne Hathaway is pretty metal. Like, Anne Hathaway's pretty metal.
That is good. That is really good.
I'll make that I've started printing, like, runs of 10 stickers now, and it's really not cost effective, but.
Something that's great about having a graphic designer in the friend group is she'll make you merch.
I will like and subscribe for merch.
Literally, the fateful day that we met at Vinny's was the best day of our lives.
The best day of our lives.
Something that's still so funny about
the
that.
The brightest.
Well, so you met Grace the night before. Motel Breakfast is really what brought us all together.
Yeah, no, totally.
Right?
Honestly, Wisconsin at large. Like, because, my friend Kat brought me we went to Motel Breakfast together.
You were at that concert with Kat?
Yeah.
Incredible!
Which is where I met Grace, and then, like, literally all y'all are from Wisconsin, pretty much.
Well, and then my friend Zoe came forward and came out as someone who had creepily taken a photo of your friend Kat.
Oh my god, yeah.
On the river.
Like that pregame, that was amazing. Kat has literally never been, like, more honored. She was like, yeah, that's me. We're playing backgammon in a canoe eating a cheese board. And I was like, that's my fucking friend.
And that was pretty sick. I was
like, actually, we're doing that this summer. We're gonna need 6 canoes.
Literally.
I was like, we're gonna need 6 canoes and, like, 3 metric pounds of cheese.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think honestly,
the world is small.
The world is small, and Wisconsin is smaller.
Yeah,
is what I've personally learned.
Mm-hmm.
I've yet to run into like someone who knows the same person in Chicago, but like the Wisconsin crew like rolls deep, and there
are a lot of us here, which is also fascinating because so many of the people that I've met since moving here, I went to college with, but like did not know them there.
That is like a weird microcosm of like everyone I've met through y'all. You pretty much went to college with, or like you knew in some way, and I'm kind of just like, wow, like I've just been like sliding into people's DMs for friendship.
Yeah,
but like turns out, I mean, literally, like I was like one of my good friends, Livy, I just like literally DM'd her because she'd moved to town, and I was like,
that's
we
badass.
had never. I don't know if it's badass or like delusional. Like there's a really thin line, honestly. I feel like
it depends on how the friendship goes.
Yeah, no, and we like had a great time, and like we're friends now, but it is one of those things that is like, you know, you slide into someone's DMs in like a non like how you doing way, and you're like, hi. It's like the eagerness thing. It's Anne Hathaway eagerness. It's like. When you're Anne Hathaway eager in the DMs, like, in a non-sexual way, it is, like,
I'm trying to establish a friendship.
It's vulnerable. You get real vulnerable real quick. And I think, like,
I think that's something about forming adult friendships that, like, I wasn't really prepared for, but I actually really like it. Like, it's all vulnerability is all it is. It's all about being like, look, I am so desperate for friends. You seem cool.
It's like, look, I was sitting home alone on a Friday night, and I saw that we have similar interests, and I saw that you posted a meme that I related to.
Exactly.
And this message
do bring people together.
This message is basically mutually assured destruction. Mm-hmm. Like, if you ignore it and I ignore it and we see each other in public, we both have to die. Like, literally. Just, I don't make the rules.
Spontaneously combust.
Yeah, like, but I think, like, when it works out, like, really beautifully.
I agree. Well, and I honestly feel so lucky with the friendship that we all found, which is, like, so fucking sappy, but I mean it so genuinely because I feel like it was very serendipitous, and everyone was just, like, also needing friends as much as the next.
I was going to, like, run clubs, and, like, I love run clubs so much, but, like, it's just, like, y'all were, like, a different flavor.
That's a niche friend group.
It was a niche friend group, and everyone was really fast.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait. I was like,
totally.
I was like, your girl's winded.
Yeah.
I was like, we're, like, sprinting around Humboldt Park, and I'm like, so what do you do?
I know, and that's so hard to have a fucking conversation. Exactly.
Yeah, I know, and I was just like, okay, I guess I have to run a 6-minute mile to make friends.
Like, yeah.
Be back next summer.
Like, yeah, right. I have to train up for this.
And then I literally, like, stumbled into Evan's apartment, and I was like, oh my god, literally, like, 5 other people. I was like, amazing. Excellent.
Well, and I think the best part about that, for those of you who have already heard the story, we got locked out of our friend Evan's house. It was my first time ever meeting Evan in my life, and James locked him out of his own home, which is fucking hilarious. But you were on your way, and you saved the day, because Grace was
I saved the day, you mean bought a bottle of wine.
Literally, from a place that we all could have equally just walked to.
You could have walked on, but, like, I appreciate the credit,
honestly.
Yeah.
Well, when Mackenzie came through, Grace was like, I have somebody on the way, and she can help us.
We've got bodies on the
I was like, perfect.
We've got a woman.
We've got boots on the ground.
Woman on the beat. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, I know, because I went in and I was like, Grace was like, I literally met Grace once at that concert, and she was basically just like, that's her MO. And it's great. I, like, literally love and adore her for it, because she was like, come hang out with a bunch of people. And I was like, sick. So I get off of work, and I'm on my way on the little friggin' bus.
Naturally.
And then she's like, if you could run into Benny's and, like, get a bottle of rosé or something, that'd be great. And I was like, amazing. I was like, and then they made me sign up for their membership club. And I was like, they gave me, like, a little freaking bottle opener and everything that's, like, Minnie's Wine Club branded. Mm-hmm. And I was, like, at the checkout for, like, 10 straight minutes, and they were like, great, so now you get discounts, like, blah, 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 give me your phone number, give me your email. Right. So by the time I came up, I was like, I'm part of Minnie's Wine Club, which is affectionately what our group chat is called, so.
And she made merch.
And I made merch, so.
And I think the jacket idea has to come to life.
I think it does. I think the thrifted jacket idea is really, I think that's, like, very, like, one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's honestly very, like, eco-friendly as well.
Because everyone can put their own little twist on it.
Yeah, that'll be cute.
Yeah.
Put them on, like, little Speedos or something.
Yes.
Or, like, oh my gosh, imagine Benny's Wine Club, like, on a bikini top.
Wait, that'll actually go kind of crazy. Yeah.
Really cute.
Now that we have a friend with a pool.
Oh my god, shout out Grace.
Stop. If we all rolled up to her pool in branded friendship swimsuit.
Oh my god, let's make towels.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh my god. It's really, like,
I kind of love that.
Like, Sticker Mule is about to, like, hear from me. Like, Sticker Mule, like, sent me an email, and they were like, how was your order?
And I was like, do you want to clock in, or?
I was like, you don't even know. I was like, we're about to go crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, you have not heard the last of me. I will be swiping my credit card frequently.
Straight up.
Very frequently.
All friend groups is what I meant to say, should have merch. I think that's a really...
if you're a hot friend group, you have merch.
Yeah.
Period.
Because otherwise, what are you doing with your time?
Like, what do you just have, like, little inside jokes?
You don't have branding? You don't have a logo?
Yeah, if you don't have a logo.
If your friend group doesn't have a logo, you gotta level up.
Yikes.
Literally. Honestly, I have someone who you can...
I can brand your friend group.
Straight up.
As long as you want to monetize your friend group.
Honestly.
And that's honestly what real friendships are about.
It's true. Well, and I'm actually so curious. I don't know if I've ever asked you, how did you get into graphic design?
How did I get into graphic design? This is, like, kind of an origin story situation. So I, like, didn't really want to go to college.
Who does?
I was kind of just like, I know it's the thing you do, but it's not like I want to do.
Yeah.
And so when I got to college, I studied global studies in Spanish, just because I was like, might as well learn another language. Like, maybe I'll be like a translator. Like, you know, I want to do like.
I didn't know you knew Spanish. That's cool.
No, I'm like fluent in Spanish, I guess. I say that with a question mark because I like haven't practiced it a lot, but like I like wrote my thesis in Spanish and like
that's sick.
Yeah, no, it was definitely like I was like on a path for a while where I was like, I'll work in a nonprofit, like I won't make much money, then it'll be an honest living, and like that's kind of like still where we're at, but like it's just different now. Yeah, and then I was like designing posters, like drawing posters for like my friend shows, like in like basements and stuff, like very like DIY stuff, and I was like kind of always like classic art girl, like drawing in the margins of my notebook and stuff. And then I took our singular graphic design course my senior year, and the guy who taught the course was like, "You're okay at this," and I was like, green light, let's go. He was a very like austere man from Wales, and so I was like, I think that's like a huge deal.
For
I
sure.
was like, I think like a man from Wales telling me I'm pretty decent at something is like big old green light.
I think that means you're the best who's ever done it.
Yeah, I think I basically saw that. But yeah, no. So I basically I interned a bunch of places, and I taught myself all the programs and freelanced for a really long time, and somehow have made a full-time living out of it, which is like
honestly that's really cool.
I wake up every morning and I'm like, how?
Yeah. I mean, imposter syndrome is real no matter what, so.
And yeah, I feel like very vividly, like I wake up sometimes and I'm like, I have to know all the things because otherwise someone's gonna call me and be like, you don't know this, are you kidding me? And yeah, there's a very real sense of imposter syndrome. But I also think that like, I don't know, like I don't think you have to go to college for everything. I don't think you have to go to college for pretty much anything, honestly.
I agree.
Like unless you're a doctor.
Well, right, maybe.
Like I think doctors should go to college.
Yeah.
Like unpopular opinion, I think doctors should go to college.
Pretty sound on that one, yeah.
But like, you know, like if you're doing something that's like graphic design or like social media, like sometimes it is like a lot more valuable to just get out there and do it.
Well, and like I enjoyed college for the most part. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I don't feel like I'm using that much of what I learned in college in my job right now.
Yeah. I feel like I kind of could have like gone to like a silent retreat for like a year.
For sure.
And just like thought about it real hard.
Yeah.
Which is like no shade to college, but like I read a lot of books and I like partied a lot, which was fun.
Yeah.
But
and I think that's what I got more out of it, honestly, was just like growing up.
Social skills.
And social skills.
Yeah, no, totally.
Learning
and I think
how to be
it's
on my own.
But I also like know people who didn't go to college and I'm like, yeah.
And like, they turned out alright.
Or like killing it.
Yeah.
Like my friend has been a photographer for like years and years and years. And she's just, like, absolutely one of the best to ever do it. Mm-hmm. And it's, like, yeah, you knew, like, immediately. And I think, like, we try to talk people out of it. Like, I was definitely, like, I had a bunch of people, like, friends tell me, they were like, oh, really? Like, you're gonna do that? Like,
I know.
I was like...
Especially when you go into a creative field, people love to say that.
Like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Like, ASMR, like...
Literally.
And it's like, yeah, it's like, I actually am kind of sure. Because if I'm gonna be an accountant, like, I'm pretty much gonna die.
Totally.
Like, I'm not gonna be okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that it's like, if you care about something and you give a shit, I mean, like, monetizing your hobbies is like a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But I do think that it's like...
And it's not for everybody. Some people prefer to have the separation. Some people, it's worth loving what you do.
I dream of the separation, honestly, sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm having a bad day at work, I'm like, why am I like this?
Well, and I don't know how to find that balance because I feel the same. I mean, it's one of those things where, like, I would love... I mean, even, like, podcasting or something like that. Like, in a dream world, like, if I could just do this all day, sure. But at the same time... Yeah, literally. But at the same time, then would I grow to hate it? Like, who knows?
Yeah, I think that honestly, that's capitalism.
Yeah,
I think that capitalism like encourages us to like monetize our hobbies, but also like wants to trick us into like having a job where you like check in and check out, and it's like, well, maybe there's like a gray area, and then capitalism's like, no, no gray areas, pick one,
just capitalism.
Yeah, no, and they're like, either you love your job and you never work a day in your life, and you secretly hate your job, or you hate your job and you hate your life. Yeah. It's like, well, those aren't great options.
Those are actually two really bad options.
You're like, those are two like very like Fight Club options. Like I just like, no wonder people are like I see stuff on TikTok and they're like, yeah, like I'm going like you know, trad wife. I'm like, honestly, no wonder people are going trad wife.
Straight up.
Do you know that hashtag traditional wife?
Yeah.
Wild.
I know.
Wild stuff on there.
I haven't gotten super into that TikTok. A few of them have popped up, but I am curious about it, so I might have to seek it out.
It is like... And we were talking about this beforehand, but there's an element of me that's like, I'm walking around the city and I'm like, yeah, I'm metropolitan, I'm like independent, I have my own apartment, I pay my own bills. And then there's a level of me that's like, there's a Pavlovian part of me that wants to make bread and have a garden. And like, just like raise
enjoy the simple
geese
pleasures.
and like, just like look at the sunset. And like,
I know.
I think like I could hold those two truths to be self-evident, but like, also yikes.
100%.
Like, there's a lot to unpack there.
Did you ever, are you on Twitter?
No, I would never get off Twitter if I was on Twitter, clearly. Clearly, I've got a couple things to say.
Then you might not know about this, but there was this woman who, and she might have got roasted on other platforms too, I can't remember, because I don't think she tweeted it. I just remember Twitter picked it up and ran with it. This woman said something along the lines of like what makes my marriage work is I love waking up in the morning and just like going and sitting out in our like balcony with my husband, enjoying a cup of coffee. And she like expressed this, and people tore that woman to shreds because they were like, okay, you privileged bitch, like you are able to do stuff like that, like that's crazy, nobody has a life like that. And then some other people were like, damn, like lay off this woman, all she says she like to have a cup of coffee in the morning with her husband.
Yeah, that is kind of like the peril of the internet, right? Like you say one thing and there's always gonna be someone who's like, and like sometimes it's deserved, like certainly back to Joe Rogan, like I believe that he, you know, should be drugged across the polls, like incessantly. But I also think that like sometimes people are like, oh, I like this thing, and then people are like, you little idiot, like how dare you? Yeah. And it's like literally I said I like donuts. Like what are you talking about? Like.
And I observed it as very much a third party because I saw both sides of the argument, and some people eventually kind of just got turned into a meme where people were like, my marriage stays alive because I go out in the garden and get dicked down by my husband and all these funny things, which I was like, okay, now this is getting really
You're
funny.
Like, this is hysterical. Yeah. You're like, thank you for this gift. You're like, I have not worked all week because of this.
Totally. I actually was obsessed with it. It was everywhere. So yeah, I'm sure my phone hours were up that week.
Screen time up by 300%.
So much entertainment to be had. But I was like, that's the kind of stuff that's just, you can't please anybody.
I think that's kind of the thing is like I think that's also like on being a human on the internet, but also specifically like a femme person on the internet. It's like there's simply
the Anne Hathaways of the world, we don't stand a chance.
The Anne Hathaways don't stand a chance, but like honestly neither do the Kim Kardashians.
Straight up.
And like none of us are really like, I don't know.
And at the end of the day, both those women have their fucking bags, so
yes. At the end of the day, they both can afford to get $30 bag trays. So
literally,
that's on us, honestly.
It really is. R.I.P.
They're making their money. They're making their money, and you know, if I had built enough controversy around my acting career and wanting it bad enough, then maybe I too one day will be able to pay $30 to have my baby fringe trimmed.
In a dream world?
In a dream world. In the ideal world,
we're fighting for that.
And that's feminism.
The pleasures that capitalism could eventually afford us.
So dark.
Okay, well, something I always forget to do at the end of my podcast that I don't ever remember, although I think I did it with
I feel like you're remembering it right now.
I'm doing it right now.
That's amazing.
I'm sure you've done this exercise, Rose and a Thorn.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
I love this. Do you rose thorn or just rose thorn and bud?
Rose, thorn, bud.
Oh my god, amazing.
Yeah. So, sometimes I do it for the day, but I feel like we
haven't caught up in a minute.
Yeah, let's do like since I saw you last.
February?
Rose, thorn, bud. Yeah.
Okay. Am I going first?
I
am going first. Okay, I would say Rose is somebody called me an art director. Not somebody, my coworker called me an art director the other day.
I'm gonna start referring to you as my art director.
I mean, like, I've said it about myself a lot, and I've like art directed a couple shoots before.
That counts.
And it's always different to like hear someone say it about you, especially like your coworker. Who like introduced me in a meeting.
Yeah, that's big.
And I was like, I had to like keep it very chill on the Zoom call, but I was like yes. I was like secretly like I like got off the call and called my mom. I was like, so that is my Rose.
We're putting that one on the resume.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That was already on the resume, but now I like feel good about it. Now I'm like putting my whole like back behind it. I'm like, bam. I would say my thorn is the possibility of having to move again. Not, like, actually moving apartments, but, like, I know it's in August, but, like, just the apartment search. Yeah. My current apartment is, like, adequate, but expensive, and I'm looking for something different.
It is more, when you told me the price, I was like, that is actually expensive.
You're like, you shouldn't be paying that much for your apartment. You're like,
no offense.
you're like, no offense, but that was a bad fiscal decision. And truly, it was. It was a marriage of convenience.
Yeah.
And that's on that. So I'm in the market 100%. For a cheaper apartment and one with more space, and hopefully that will be a pretty.
And you know they exist.
Process. Yeah. Well, the current apartment that I have, I ran into my neighbor the other day. I think I told you about this, but she ran into a raccoon.
Oh my god, yeah.
Behind, she ran into so I'd never met this woman before.
Yeah.
I met her in the laundry room, and she was like, hey, really nice to meet you. We exchanged phone numbers. It was, like, really tender. She was like, let me know if you ever need anything. She was like, by the way, beware of the raccoon. And I was like, that's, like, some, like, Twin Peaks shit. Like, oh my god, like, what are you talking about? Like, the owls are not as they seem.
That's very ominous.
It's very ominous. And she was, like, on her way out. And I was like, wait, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
She was like, dude, there's a huge raccoon who sits out by our dumpster. Like, huge. And
menace.
She, like a menace. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, okay. She was like, so, like, don't go out to the dumpster after dark. And I was like, there go my Friday plans. But I was like, shit. She was like, yeah, so I was walking home, and I came in the other day. This raccoon chased her for 2.5 blocks.
I can't imagine a more scarier, dystopian...
Saw her, this massive raccoon, saw my neighbor, and, like, ran her down.
Also, I feel like I'd be worried about, like, rabies or something. Like, were you, like, enraged?
So
like,
she ran all the way out to the main road, and then some dude stopped her and was like, oh my god, are you okay? Is there, like, a man following you? She was like, no, it's a raccoon! And I was just like...
I think I would shit my pants if a raccoon came on all fours trudging after me.
And that's the thing, that was, like, gonna be my follow-up question, like, all fours or 2 legs? Like, what?
God,
Had they, like, adapted?
Is he possessed?
What was he, like, in a back bed? Like, what is going on?
Literally.
So yeah, TLDR, I'm looking for a new apartment.
Honestly.
Cheaper and less raccoons would be ideal. So if anyone in
Chicago... no raccoons.
Yeah, and if anyone in Chicago has a hookup for a great apartment, raccoonless would be ideal.
I'll slide your email.
Yeah, so hit my line via Gmail. But yeah, and then I think my bud is... I know it's only February, and I'm gonna jinx us so bad, but I kind of don't even care. I'm so excited for spring and summer.
Same.
I, like, can taste it, and, like... Especially, like, it's on the palate, and, like, I know come March when things are simply foul. I am flying out to LA, so I'm, like, kind of cheating.
Yeah.
But
it's about that time.
I'm so excited to just, like, be running around in the warmth and, like, doing post, like, work drinks at the park, and, like, oh my god. And I feel like we kind of, like, met at a time last year where it was, like, all winding down.
Yeah.
So I'm, like, really excited for, like, you, me, James, and the rest of the team to, like, have a fully, like, capital S summer.
Totally.
With a pool.
Spend a little more time outdoors. I think that's, like, a necessity in my life.
Grass.
Literally.
So yeah, what about you? What is your rose-born thorn bud? I can't even say them.
I know, and I'm trying to think of the last time that I saw you. The reason that I wasn't with you all last weekend was because I had my first ever friend wedding.
That was
you guys probably
so
rose.
Good. Oh my god, I wanted to frame that photo of y'all.
It was so fun.
I was my parents.
I haven't been to a wedding that my most recent weddings in my family were, like, several years ago, where I was not old enough to have fun at them. And, like, I think the last wedding I went to was honestly James's cousin, which was really fun. That was actually a crazy wedding because it was in the DR, but
whoa,
their weddings are crazy.
That
they go into, like, 4
a.m. Amazing. Wow.
Mm-hmm. And so this was, like, my first, like, real friend wedding with people my age, where, like, I'm up at the bar. It was so fucking
You're
fun.
like, we're going ham.
Yeah.
You're like, we're about to go wild.
And it was, like, Danielle is literally one of my friends since middle school. So it's been, like, a very long time. Her husband rocks. Her husband. Oh. And her bachelorette party was the one that I went to in October.
Right. Right.
Which was also really fun. And, like, I got to meet her, like, college friends and post-college friends that I hadn't really met yet. So that was also cool. I also think the bachelorette party, I had never been to one of those either. The bachelorette party is a really good determining factor for if the wedding's going to be fun, if all of you guys have a good time.
I guess that's true, right? Because those are kind of like the gals.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's like the core team.
Yeah.
And you were part of the wedding party, right?
No, I wasn't in the wedding party. It was actually 3 of her college friends and her sister.
Okay, that's like pretty small. I feel like some wedding parties are like literally everyone you've ever
like
met.
10 people nowadays.
And I'm like, wow, that's a lot of funding.
Literally.
Just gotta put your all back into that one.
I know. Well, in wedding culture, I haven't been around it in really at all in my adult years, so it's kind of fascinating to see like how far it's come. And like,
has it come far?
Well, in the sense of like, I guess in the way I mean it is that we're still doing this.
Okay. I was like, wait, is wedding culture woke?
I mean, I also mean the fact that it's lasted this long.
Oh yeah, no. Like I saw like a video the other day. Like I accidentally was like, I was supposed to be cruising Facebook Marketplace, but I accidentally logged onto just normal Facebook.
Yeah.
And I saw like a video of like someone I went to high school doing like a garter like situation.
Oh, totally.
And I was like, we're moving backwards.
Yeah.
I was like, just in fairness, like we're moving backwards.
My friend Ruth was actually like, they didn't do the garter thing, and I was like, do people still do that?
Yeah, it's like, oh, like they didn't behead them publicly in the square. It's like, what? No, like we're done with that. Like we're past that. Like we have a vaccine for polio now. Like we're simply not doing it.
Well, and my friend Danny, I was like, this wedding, no notes. The ceremony, short and sweet. They actually didn't even. This one was a toss-up for me because I do kind of love the sappy part of hearing everyone's vows, but they decided to just like write them and put them in an envelope that they'll read later.
That's like very private.
There's something private about that. Also, it saved me some waterworks, so that's cool.
You were like, you know what? Save it.
Yeah. And then the food was delicious. They did the open bar thing, so I can't complain.
Hot.
The music was fun. It was like a really, really good night.
Yeah, no, that sounds really ideal.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're gonna do it, like I recently went to a wedding that was like, they did a similar thing, like super short ceremony.
Yeah.
They actually did like their marriage ceremony just like with the wedding party, and then they did like a sort of like faux ceremony the next day, and then they just had a massive party, and I was like,
that's what it's all. That's what I'm there for. Is the party.
Yeah, I was like, really, everyone here is
just
like
to celebrate you.
Like, we flew out here because we want to party.
Exactly.
Like, like I feel like wedding culture is what it is because I don't think adults have enough of a reason to get down.
Which is really sad.
Which is sad. And like honestly, that's why I go dancing every weekend.
Exactly.
Because I like never want my like source of entertainment to be like a wedding.
For waiting for an invite.
Oh,
waiting for that save the date.
Gross. It's like, are you kidding me? Like there's not even like if there's not a cover charge at the club, like you might as well.
Straight up.
Like you don't have
put your pants and shoes on.
Yeah, just pop them on. But that's a good rose. That is like really.
It was so fun. So that was definitely the rose. I think Thorn, honestly, has just been work, which is a kind of a cop-out answer, but work before going on a trip always sucks.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, taking it one day at a fucking time. And it has, the timing couldn't be worse. Like, I was just telling you, I got a new client, so like,
you're like, bye.
Got a new client and I'm heading out.
You're like, I'll be in the DR, but
and the amount of anxiety that I already know is coming on that Sunday when I get back is like, really crazy.
I like, the Sunday, that's like...
Sunday scaries hit, and after vacation, they hit so much worse.
Yeah, you're like, oh wait, I was like body out on a beach, and now I'm not.
Now I'm clocked the fuck in.
Now I'm literally stationary.
Like,
trying to remember my Apple Watch was reminding me to stand up once an hour, so
there's nothing more depressing.
My muscles start atrophy. Like,
literally.
Cool.
And sometimes I say mute till the end of day.
Oh my god, yeah, right? And then you like get up and do your little like sad girl stomp all around town.
Literally.
I'm like,
sometimes I'll like sit on the floor and like stretch a little, and I'm like, alright, back at it. So sad.
That was it.
Mm-hmm. I'd say that's the Thorn.
Thanks for tuning in, folks.
Literally. So depressing. And then I like look out the window,
You're like the woman in the window, or like the Rear Window Alfred Hitchcock movie. Except you're just like staring.
Oh.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's office life for you. And I would say, Bud, I'm really looking forward to March. I just feel like there are so many fun things happening in March.
Okay, so I was gonna make this suggestion, which I think would be fully unhinged. But what if we did like an entire Vinny's March podcast?
Oh my god, I would love that.
But post St. Patty's Day.
Fuck yes. Wait, that'd be really fun.
I think it would be unpublishable.
I think it'd have a lot of bleeps.
I think it would be a reel. Yeah. I don't think it would be an actual.
That was for Patreon subscribers.
I think that one is truly for Patreon subscribers only, because I don't think we can let that, but basically, in March we have plans to, our friend Evan's birthday is like on the same weekend as
St. Patty's,
which I have never celebrated, and
it was definitely kind of a big thing in college, so I feel like we did stuff, which obviously, I'm not Irish really, so I'm just in it for the fun, but
in it for the bit.
I'm in it for the camaraderie. I'm an ally. I'm an Irish ally. And so, but
so you start drinking at 9 a.m. It's like support, like love and support, like thoughts and prayers.
Literally. But I am, like, the Chicago just totally does it up. I'm excited for, like, the whole river thing. I think it's so fucking over the top and ridiculous, but it's one of the campier things.
Yeah.
People are coming out of the woodwork for that.
Yeah, I know, it's just, like, my thing is, like, I don't drink that much, so, like, for me, it's kind of gonna be, like, this, like, anthropological, like, experience of, like, just me, like, kind of, like, hanging out, like, eating a soft pretzel.
Totally.
Like,
the pretzels are honestly what sold me on the tickets.
Yeah, no, they were like unlimited drinks, and I was like, okay, all right. And then they were like, and free snacks, and I was like, all right, team, buckle in. I was like, let's go.
Love a free snack.
Yeah, so I'm gonna eat $40 worth of soft pretzels.
Yeah, I will definitely be drinking all day. I gotta pace myself though.
I was gonna say I'll hold your hair, but
yeah, I would love to not vomit. I'm gonna take an Adderall in the morning, but we'll see.
I mean, because it's Evan's party the night before, and then St. Patty's Day party, and then dancing at night, and
it's time to stock up on liquid IVs.
It's time to hydrate now.
Yeah, literally start drinking your water.
It's time to anticipatory hydrate.
We all get those fucking we get Binny's branded water bottles, those ones that say like, oh my god, you're doing a good job. Oh, you're drinking now, bitch. Oh, she's drowning.
Do not you have a good time. Do not. Oh my god, you know I'm making us custom Nalgene.
And we should have,
I'm making us custom Nalgenes.
Honestly, that's my favorite kind of swag, is stuff that you can utilize.
Absolutely. Well, it's like a sticker like you can put on stuff, but like now that
you can utilize
now that we've done that, we like need to up the stakes.
Yeah.
Like now it's gonna be like, okay, everybody toss in $10 for custom Nalgenes.
I'm kind of loving that idea.
I think we should do custom Nalgenes for St. Patrick's Day.
Fuck yes.
I think we can do it.
Oh my god, and if we all were carting them around, but then we'd also maybe lose them, which is risky.
We maybe each need to have 2.
Or you can get the Nalgene sack.
Oh my god. You know what? Do any of us crochet? Because we could have someone crochet.
So I have knit things.
Okay, perfect. Done. Done, that's
similar.
It.
Yeah, super similar.
That's like saying, like, can you drive a car? And it's like, I've played bumper cars once. Yeah. Like, get in, bitch. We're going.
So I have played Mario Kart. Yeah, literally.
No, we'll figure it out. I think incoming swag for sure.
Yeah.
If you ever need someone to make swag for the pod,
I've got you over here.
Yeah. I feel like if I could just make merch all the time, it's just really like a fun.
I'm gonna put your LinkedIn in the show notes
because just hit him on the gram. I'm like never on LinkedIn. Like someone messaged me on LinkedIn the other day, and I was like, why?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm a graphic designer. Like literally, just email me.
That's true. As someone who like borders on the line of creative and corporate, I like sometimes check my LinkedIn, and people do message me, but I never respond.
People message me and they're like, "Hi, I see that we have like a couple of mutual like connections," and I'm like, "But are we connected?"
Right, I literally don't know you.
Yeah, I think it's really funny. I think that like also like people have told me that like women have told me that like people slide into their DMs on LinkedIn.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like, that's a great reason to not be on LinkedIn.
100%.
Like that's a really great reason to just like not participate.
Also, having like a corporate social media is kind of just the craziest idea. I don't know who invented LinkedIn, but
it really feels like for people who their entire life is their job.
It's frat guys with quarter zips. That's who it is. Dominating the LinkedIn platform.
Bro, yeah. And it's like, it's always like, hashtag inspo. Like, today, like, a guy came in for an interview and he was 20 minutes late. And I said, oh, why are you late? And he's like, some people wouldn't have taken the interview, but I did. And then it turns out that his dog died in a car crash. I'm like, oh my God.
It's like Gary B. You know who that is? It's Gary B.
Oh my God.
He's all over LinkedIn, and it's all of those exact kind of people sharing that kind of content. And it's like,
and then it gets into like weird like Facebook centric stuff where it's like, can I get a like for this guy who got a job even though he like, you know, has never worked a day in his life? It's like, dude, like this is creepypasta. Like this is like the weirdest internet shit, and it's just like the corporate version of it.
I know. somehow like put it in a suit and then put it on LinkedIn.
Oh my god, it's like really like it's insidious.
It's
me.
The second pandemic. There have been
definitely a totally fair comparison.
There have been so many pandemics as well. I don't think that COVID was the first, but
a crisis of consciousness.
Somehow this is the second.
Joe Rogan was the OG. If we're being completely honest, the fact that there was listenership for that at all was a crisis in its own right.
Well, thank you for joining me on this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I feel like I blacked out the entire time, so listening to it will be
I do that every time.
Interesting. You just kind of like let yourself go.
Yeah.
That's an interesting way.
The music will take you away.
Yeah, bye.
Well, you're going to be a returning guest, I hope you know, because this is really fun.
Really stoked to see you in March for the podcast. That will be a Patreon exclusive. And that you might not remember.
We're going to be like horribly hungover, wrapped up in blankets, literally cocooned.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? We're going to be like, it's going to be Sunday morning. It's going to be like, hey guys. Welcome to my little podcast.
Out our words.
Pessimistic at best.
Honestly, that's the content people want to see.
Honestly, hot.
That's the level of authenticity that the people are begging for.
Throwing up on cam.
Oh my god. We all have pupils. Oh fuck. So yeah, I'm looking forward to March. That's gonna be great.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'll see you soon then.
Well, thank you for doing this, and thank you guys for listening or watching, whichever platform you're consuming this podcast on. And I will chat with you guys again next week. Bye.
Bye.
Another cathartic convo in the books. I feel better. How about you? Thank you so much for listening. Now I just want to jump on here and say, don't forget to follow and or subscribe to the pod on your favorite streaming platform for new episodes every single week, because I know you can't get enough of me. Additionally, if you want to gain access to exclusive episodes and lots of other goodies, join our Patreon and support the pod with your hard-earned American dollars. You can find the link in our show notes, or you can also visit us at patreon.com/pessimistic@best. And of course, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at pessimistic@best. And if you're as obsessed with me as I am with you, you can find me at Sam Georgeson on all platforms. And last but not least, I'd like to give a special shout out to my podcast editor and producer, the love of my life, James Arbai, whom I literally could not do this without. So thank you, James. I love you so much. And thank you guys for joining me again this week. I love you too, and I cannot wait to chat with you again soon.